8 tips for creating a good listing. Go ahead, Kelly.
Oh, didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm going to do the first one. I'll let Kelly take the second one. So before you get started creating your listing, you need to do some keyword research. You should always be doing keyword research before you create your listings. If you know, like if you have a plan to create 5 listings every day, then before you start creating the listings, do the keyword research on all the items that you're about to list so that you can knock that out first and begin the process of creating your listings. Um, Keyword research is going to help your listings be found organically. And ultimately, that's what you want. You want your listings to be found organically. Is there anything you want to add to that, Kelly?
Um, my keyword researching, a lot of people use like websites and stuff. I look at, since I mainly list on like eBay, Etsy, and Mercari, I look at what items that if I find the same item that I'm trying to list or something really similar, and I look at the sold items, and that's what I use for my keyword researching. I look at the sold items to see what words were used by then, or you can use with eBay. You have Cherry Peak you can use, and you can research um, and see what words were used the most by that item that sold.
Absolutely. So keyword research is so important. There's so many different techniques and strategies, and that one she talked about is actually on the list. But yeah, you can. There's just you can use a tool. There's keywords everywhere. You can use the search engines for each one of the selling platforms, Amazon, eBay, because Amazon has a search engine. eBay does too. When you type things in the search box, that's a search engine, and just start typing there. You can look at competitor listings, sold listings, and definitely get some insight or existing listings. All right, next one, Kelly.
Think like a customer. You want to think, how would a customer be looking up that item? Because make sure you're using words that will your customer might be typing in to search for that item. A lot of people will put like rare and great deal, or put some words that people will not be using to try to draw traffic to their item. But customers are not searching in rare or great deal or crazy words that people put in, or they'll put emojis in their listing title, on their listing for their titles, and using up um, what we only have so many words, so many characters you can use, and you have to start thinking, what words do I want to describe my item, and not words to try to draw traffic by saying rare or crazy, or so use the words to describe the item. Maybe someone wants to find a certain color t-shirt with that character on it. So make sure you're using describing words that describe your item, and not to just draw traffic crazily like that.
Absolutely. And also think about words in your listing when you think of thinking like a customer. Most of the time, customers are interested in things that may also trigger their emotions or their senses. So, as you look at listings and think about how you're going to create your listing, think about what this thing does, is what it's going to help, what it's going to solve, how the person will feel before you start creating that listing. And those items, those words, those feelings, those thoughts may become part of your listing in some kind of way or description. Number 3, optimize your title. So, optimizing your title means incorporating those keywords that you did some research on, and including those keywords about what the item is or what it does, or who is, whatever it's and what it is and its purpose, in the first 5 to 7 words, because that's how people are searching for it in the search engines. Think about what the words are that they're putting in on Amazon when they're typing in that box, or they're typing in eBay box, or they're typing in the Walmart box. Like if they are looking for, let's say, back to school supplies, they're literally going to type in the words back to school supplies. So somewhere in your title in the first 5 to 7 words should be the words back to school supplies. It shouldn't be terribly difficult. There will be some other things that may cause your listing to stand out more than others, but incorporate the words that logically make sense for what this thing is. Now, some of the phrases you use may be high competition phrases. So, breaking out the thesaurus and seeing if you can find related words, similar words, whatever, complementary words may help your listing to stand out more as build out your title. But think about what it is and incorporate those keywords or long tail keywords within the first 5 to 7 words of the title. Anything you want to add to that, Kelly?
No, I think we've covered it in the last two.
Okay. All right. That one's yours?
A customer-focused detailed description. So many times I've seen listings and all they have is the title just copied down from what the title was, and then they just have the title and their description and nothing else. Well, you have to make sure, if it's going to be something, you need to have measurements, because you want these detailed descriptions, because if not, you will be getting emails and questions and everything from customers asking 15 things that you could have saved your time by putting that in the description. Even though people say, well, the customers don't even read the descriptions anymore. Some of them do. And, I make sure I sell clothes. I have my measurements in there. So make sure you put these details in there. Say what's in there. If it's a used item, say, if it has any defects, or if it, say you have like a remote control, but it needs this certain software to be able to use it. Make sure you say if you have the software or not.
I have no idea why all my alarms are deciding to go off right now. That is so funny. Go ahead, Kelly.
But, make sure that you put all these details in there, because if it's not detailed, that can lead to a lot of returns.
Yes.
So you want to save yourself on returns, and you want to save yourself from getting 15,000 questions about the item too.
Right. And if you do get 15,000 questions about the item, go back and update the listing.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Go back and update the listing and add the missing stuff. All right. Take high quality photos or use high quality images. If you're not taking the photos yourself, make sure you're using high quality images and name your images when you are uploading them to whatever site that you're selling on. Make sure that the item is full and bright on the main image, because you don't want to have a main image where the image of the product is in the middle and there's a whole bunch of white space around it. Your goal is that as soon as this person pulls up the product on their phone or they pull it up on their computer, that it takes up the majority of the white space. So make sure that it's taking up the majority of the white space, and that you edit it if you need to, or crop it so that you can get more of that real estate. Make sure you're aware of the dimensions for the different platforms that you sell on for the main image and any secondary images that you upload for your listing. So you need to know what that is. So you don't have grainy or fuzzy images. You want them to be clean and clear and crisp if possible. And there's tools you can use to clean the background if clearing the background makes sense. Not all images, it makes sense to clear the background. So anything else you want to add to that, Kelly?
If you're taking your own photos, if you have something that's reflective, make sure you see what that item's reflecting back into the camera. Yep. Just saying.
So many things come to mind. All right. Let's go ahead, Kelly.
Price your product correctly and competitively. So you have to look to see what is this price, this item selling for historically and recently. Um, this can, you're like, well, it's July right now, and I want all this Christmas stuff, and but it's selling really low. Well, eBay has a great thing called Terapeak, and you can look back at that item and at the last 12 months, and you can see what it sold for around Christmas time. So if you're wanting to sell that for waiting for it to sell at higher price, you could probably wait, list it now at the lower price, and then later on increase it to the higher price because people are willing to pay more during closer to the holidays. So you have to see what the prices are doing historically. You can use tools like Camel, and Keepa on eBay to see how the price fluctuates then. Because you can go around and see, 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months how the prices have changed, and does it, kind of go up and down. Maybe there's certain times of year that item tends to sell for a higher price, and you can, follow the historical rates on those items. But don't also make sure you're not the one that's going to be causing the race to the bottom either.
Yeah.
So I know, you want your stuff to sell, but don't be the one to cause everyone else to start lowering their price because you have the lowest price, and then they want to try to beat yours, and then you got buyer C trying to beat that person, and next thing you know, no one's making any profit because everyone's trying to sell and they run the price down to nothing.
Which is very, very frustrating.
Yes.
Know the shipping specifics or how you plan to ship it. So when I'm sourcing anything, doesn't matter if I'm sourcing it online, doing online arbitrage or retail arbitrage, I'm out there thrifting, or I'm actually in the store buying. Even if I'm buying wholesale, I gotta know how is this thing going to potentially be shipped, even if I'm not shipping it myself, because I need to have an idea of my potential estimated shipping costs. So as you acquire inventory, you should always be thinking in the back of my mind, what is it going to cost to ship this thing? As Kelly said before, like, small things. Small things are less expensive to ship than big things. So shipping something oversized, and also be thinking about, whatever warehouses that you're shipping inventory to, if you're using fulfillment centers, whether it's WFS, FBA, or some other method, be thinking about that storage fee as well. You should have all of those expenses in the back of your mind as you are sourcing or acquiring your inventory, because at some point you're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to deal with storage fees if you are dealing with a fulfillment center. You're going to have to deal with shipping costs if you sell physical products. So that all of that's going to cut into your potential ROI. There's too many people out here saying that they're $1 million sellers, but in reality, their ROI is so minuscule that they're really not making any money at all. So sometimes the things that eat into that profit are the things that you're not paying attention to. So pay attention to what the estimated cost might be for shipping, how big is this thing, and also if you're doing storage fees, or you're dealing with FBA, or you're dealing with WFS or some other fulfillment center, what are they charging me to store this thing, especially if it's big? Anything else, Kelly?
Also, if whether you plan to offer your free shipping to your customers, or do you want to charge shipping,
Yeah.
you have to figure that out, and because that can affect how much you list your price for. Because if you want to do free shipping and add the shipping into the price, then your price will be higher. But if you got charge shipping, you might want to price it a little lower to account for that shipping cost for your customer.
There you go. Review or scan similar or competitor listings for inspiration. So Kelly hinted on this in the first one, that the one thing that can help you, there's many things that we listed here today, and this is not the entire list. There are always more things that you can do to help you create a good listing or optimize your listing. And looking at your competitors listings as inspiration potentially, getting ideas, sold listings, current active listings, related listings. Any of that can help you to create your listing better. Sometimes just taking a listing when you do the search. So let's say you are selling, I don't know, I'm going to do something simple like boys' socks, size 6 to 9. So, because back to school's coming up. So, boys' socks, crew socks, we'll say it's those. So, when you just type in boys' crew socks, and whatever the first couple of listings that come up on whatever platform, whether it's eBay or it's Amazon or Walmart, those are the ones that come up first are the ones that have been either purchased the most, have the best ranking, get the most views, or they are optimized enough in the search engine so they pop up first. So reviewing the dynamics and reviewing all the details of those specific listings can help you build a better listing or an equivalent listing in the future, so that when you're ready to sell your socks, if you're selling socks, you can pay attention to how they created it. What was the title? What was the description? What do the images look like? Are there some additional details that you may be overlooking? And that's the reason why yours doesn't come up. Now, some of them are, listings that have been around for years, and so they are doing well because they've been around for years. But that doesn't mean that there isn't an opportunity for you to get some sales as well. So learn from your competitors, reverse engineer their listings, and use that as inspiration for creating your own listing. Anything you want to add to that, Kelly?
Also use that to find out what can you do to make your listing pop better than theirs.
Absolutely.
Maybe all the listings of the socks have the socks looking the same, but if you have your listing with the socks looking a little, facing a different way or something, then that's going to catch someone's eyes if all the other listings look the same and yours just happen face the other way, so it looks a little different and it draws someone's eye because it's different.
Yep. And one last thing I'll add to that is go through and look at the reviews for some of the listings that have a lot of reviews, and go look at the negative. Sometimes the negative pieces of those listings that have a lot of reviews, that negative information can help you write a listing that is the exact opposite of what people are complaining about those particular listings. So incorporating the opposite phrase, like, oh, okay, well, these stocks roll down all the time. We can say, and these stocks won't roll down. Like, whatever it happens to be, whatever the complaint is that somebody had to put something negative. So just go after the one, if there's a listing that has over 2,000 reviews and the majority of the reviews are 5-star and 4-star, I'm going down to the ones and say, okay, there may be 5 1-star reviews or 4 1-star reviews. I'm going to look at those 4 1-star reviews and see what they wrote, and then maybe incorporate some of that phrasing, the opposite of some of that phrasing, into my listing as I create it.